In this section, we will look at how the UK economy was buoyed by resilient demand in the context of declining energy prices, which helped it avoid a recession and maintain positive growth in the UK economy was expected to shrink and perform worse than other advanced economies, according to the International Monetary Fund's forecast in April. The IMF said the economy would contract by 0.6% in 2023, as the cost of living continued to hit households. However, in its latest assessment of the UK economy, released in May, the IMF sharply upgraded its growth forecast. It now expects the UK to grow by 0.4% in 2023, whereas last month it forecast the economy would contract by 0.3%. The IMF said the improved outlook reflected the unexpected resilience of demand, helped in part by faster than usual pay growth, the fall in soaring energy costs, improved business confidence and the normalization of global supply chains. The fund also praised the UK government's action to restore stability in tame inflation, such as its childcare reforms, the Windsor Framework and business investment incentives. The UK economy was able to avoid a recession and maintain positive growth despite facing headwinds from high inflation, labor shortages and supply chain disruptions. The IMF expects inflation to decline from 10.1% in March to around 5% by the end of 2023, and below the 2% target by mid. The UK economy also outperformed some of its peers in Europe, such as Germany, which is expected to shrink by 0.1% this year. The UK economy is forecast to grow by 1% in 2024 and 2% in 2025 and 2026 before settling back to a long-run rate of around 1.5%. The IMF cautioned, however, that there are still considerable risks to the outlook for the UK economy. The major near to medium-term risk is greater than anticipated persistence in price and wage setting, which would lead to higher inflation for longer. This could require higher interest rates for longer to bring down inflation more assuredly. The IMF also warned that the UK economy could face headwinds from policies needed to combat inflation, such as interest rate hikes. The Bank of England has already raised its main interest rate for commercial banks to 4.5%, the highest since it also said further rate hikes might be necessary to tame prices. The IMF urged the UK government to maintain a credible fiscal policy and support vulnerable households and businesses through targeted measures. It also recommended that the UK enhance its productivity and competitiveness by investing in infrastructure, innovation and skills. In summary, the UK economy was buoyed by resilient demand in the context of declining energy prices, which helped it avoid a recession and maintain positive growth. In the IMF upgraded its growth forecast for the UK and praised its policy actions. However, it also warned of risks from high inflation and interest rates, and advised the UK to pursue structural reforms. The UK economy faced a severe terms of trade shock due to Russia's war in Ukraine and, to some extent, labor supply scarring from the pandemic. This means that the UK had to pay more for its imports and received less for its exports, reducing its national income and purchasing power. The war also disrupted the supply of natural gas from Russia, which is a major source of energy for the UK. This caused energy prices to soar and contributed to the high inflation that plagued the UK economy. According to the IMF, inflation in the UK remained stubbornly high at 10.1% in March 2023, far above the Bank of England's target of 2%. High inflation eroded the real value of wages and savings, and reduced consumer confidence and spending. It also forced the Bank of England to raise interest rates repeatedly, reaching 4.5% in May 2023, the highest level since higher interest rates increased the cost of borrowing and dampened business investment and growth. The IMF said that declining energy prices and widening economic slack are expected to substantially reduce inflation to around 5% by the end of 2023, and below the 2% target by mid. However, it also warned of considerable risks to this outlook, such as greater than anticipated persistence in price and wage setting, which would lead to higher inflation for longer. In that case, interest rates may have to remain high for longer to bring down inflation more assuredly. The IMF also upgraded its growth forecast for the UK economy, from a contraction of 0.3% to an expansion of 0.4%. It said that this reflected the unexpected resilience of domestic demand, helped by faster than usual pay growth, improved business confidence and the normalization of global supply chains. However, it also noted that the UK economy will still lag behind other advanced economies, such as France, Italy, and Russia, which are expected to grow by 0.7% in